Now all of you have done Vakyartha Sadas for last so many days. What is consciousness? What is all-pervasiveness? What is without coming and going? What is muscleless, woundless? All this you would have done. At one point, you will feel stuck. It's natural. At that moment, if you decide, it's okay, but I'll continue to dig, you are living enlightenment. At that moment, you think, whatever I learnt with that, let me make whatever I need in my life. Like material comforts or luxury, name and fame, it's enough. Who knows more than what I did? Leave it. Then that is avidya. When you are contemplating all this, you can see many of the qualities of consciousness is already permeating your life in a smaller scale. You can never be without consciousness. In a smaller scale, all that will be permeating your life. But when you contemplate deeper and deeper, it will start permeating in the higher and higher scales. More and more pure consciousness will start reflecting in your brain, in your system.
But Swami told the first time you said no to knowledge is ignorance. How can it be arrogance?
What I understand is it is like you become arrogant because you are ignorant. So it is arrogance comes from ignorance. When you go on encouraging your ignorance more and more, then you become arrogant. So I think that arrogance comes out of ignorance.
See now, like your mother assigns you a task and then you are not able to do that, and then from that time you start deciding, so anything my mother gives like this I will not do. So this is the first time you are doing it. And you and then next time when she gives something, now you will tell I will not do because I cannot do this. You give some silly reasons and you don't do. And then you see the way she responds to you and you'll feel comfortable with it. This is only ignorance. You're just doing it first time. But when you do this again and again, when you put this in every possible situations in your life and decide against the life, then it becomes arrogance. So first time you're just deciding that you will not do. You're just saying you're just deciding against life. It's just ignorance. When the deciding against the life becomes a lifestyle or a pattern in you, that becomes arrogance.
But I have a question about that. See, but even when we get angry, we are using our willpower only to get angry because we're the ones who decide to get angry, right? We're using our willpower even for that.
What I feel is when you're powerless, you don't use your willpower. Like when you get upset, you don't use your willpower to bring tears in your eyes and cry. What I feel it just comes because you're just powerless. So what I feel is in powerlessness there's no willpower because always a third eye only supports powerfulness, not powerlessness.
And also, like Swamiji told in today's satsang, for understanding consciousness and experiencing consciousness, you don't need to believe that you are consciousness. If you just sit and internalize that you are consciousness, that understanding that you are consciousness will just like that happen. So what I feel is that if you're just settled with yourself and whenever you feel bored or when you feel tired, if you just sit and internalize, okay, if I am consciousness, then as per the consciousness, there's no such thing as boredom that exists. If this is the thing which is getting me boredom, then let me just sit and complete and make it the way I want because I am consciousness and the work which is going to happen is also consciousness. So let me just change it. So anytime when we are having boredom or laziness, so that time if we just sit and internalize that we are consciousness, we'll have the experience of consciousness at that point immediately.
So what I understand is whether it is your experience or not, you having Nityananda way of cognition, you just exaggerating the whole thing on master, he'll make it happen and your whole he'll just change your whole perception and mature your whole cognition.
Just adding a point, so what I feel is that if the best way for you to break your boredom and not fall prey for it is that, see, you need to have a proper ambience and surroundings around you where people will not tolerate your inauthenticity and again they make you feel that you have to learn more. So only when the surrounding is like that, then only the highest possibility is given for you to experience the highest space of consciousness and not to fall prey for this boredom and laziness. So the best way you could do is like if you are a kid, then coming and experiencing the Varanasi IA for kids and then joining Gurukul. If you are an adult, then having a glimpse of this experience in the Varanasi IA and then becoming part of the Sangha and taking up either becoming a part of the Ananda Yogam or doing something like that will constantly give you that feeling where your boredom is not encouraged and action is what is encouraged. Creation is encouraged. So best way I feel you can break your boredom and not fall prey to this is attending the Varanasi IA and becoming part of the Sangha.
What you eat, what you do, what you speak, what you think, what you practice, everything be aligned to this one. How to reflect highest concept of consciousness in your brain. How to catch the most subtlest definition of consciousness in your brain by Upanishads. Actually, in the Shivoham process, that's all I do. Just connecting with your brain and making it grow subtler and subtler and subtler. The subtle grooves start developing. So you simply start reflecting the concept of consciousness. That is why when the moment I say Shiva, your whole body vibrates. It means your brain is catching. There are many people heard Shiva million times in many places. Their brain doesn't catch. But in Shivoham process, the moment I utter the word Shiva, so many brains and body catches it. So the moment you catch that experience, you associate automatically yourself with it. Seeing God, experiencing God as you is not two action. It is one actually. Seeing is experiencing. Drinking Ganga, taking bath in Ganga, and going through that Shivoham process is the ultimate. In Varanasi, any water available for drinking, taking bath, everything, it's only Ganga water. Even if you do it in the hotel, it's only Ganga water. No other water. So whole 200 kilometers of Varanasi, it's only Ganga water. Even all underground water is only Ganga water. It's an amazing possibility to awaken the most subtlest grooves in your brain, to experience the pure definition of consciousness. Whoever is planning to attend the Varanasi May IA, please start watching the satsang every day. That will prepare you so much to experience Varanasi and Vishwanatha. So see you all in Varanasi to experience Vishwanatha with Vishwanatha.